cautions political parties over recent campaign attacks. And FRSC trains driving school owners to curb road crashes. A very good evening. Thanks for joining us on NTA Channel 5 News at 7. I am Miriam Emekamadi. A culture of accountability and transparency in the pursuit of good governance and effective service delivery to Nigerians have been formally institutionalized. Thus followed the signing of an Executive Order 12 by President Muhammadu Buhari aimed at improving performance, management, coordination and implementation of the presidential priorities of the federal government. This was at the closing ceremony of the third Ministerial Performance Review Retreat. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that the president warned ministers, permanent secretaries, and heads of government agencies not to abandon business of governance for electioneering, saying any infraction will be viewed seriously. The president told participants at the retreat that with the commencement of campaigns towards the 2023 general elections, the business of governance must continue to receive the needed attention during this period. President Buhari directed the Secretary to the Government of the Federation to continue with the quarterly review process of assessment of priorities for the third and fourth quarters of 2022. He said the report will form part of transition documents for his administration to the incoming government. Few days after the commencement of campaigns ahead of the 2023 elections, INEC Chairman Professor Mahmood Yakubu is not comfortable with the manner political parties are taking off with the process. He stated this at a training workshop on the technologies to be deployed for the election.
Reports of clashes among parties and their supporters in some states of the country during the ongoing electioneering campaign is worrisome. So too is the reported denial of access to public facilities for parties and candidates in some states of the Federation. Let me caution parties and their supporters to focus on issues and steer clear of attacks on each other. These are not only violations of the Electoral Act 2022, but also negate the voluntary commitment by all political parties and candidates to the letter and spirit of the peace accord signed about 3 weeks ago under the auspices of the National Peace Committee. Parties, candidates and their supporters should not, by acts of commission or omission, further complicate the prevailing security situation in the country. A peaceful electioneering campaign is critical to the conduct of peaceful and credible elections. The Commission will continue to monitor the situation closely and will convene a meeting with leaders of political parties next week to discuss, among other issues, the imperative of peaceful campaigns and equal access to public facilities. In the same vein, the Commission will also meet with security agencies under the auspices of the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security, and this meeting.
Reduction in the spate of gender-based violence in the society can be achieved if women take deliberate steps to grooming children into responsible adults with the right values. Tessa Mary reports that this was the focus of a one-day summit by the women wing of the Police Community Relations Committee in FCT.
In this hall are women from the Police Community Relations Committee of the FCT, whose aim is service to humanity and the nation. They are saying that the fight against gender-based violence is a collective responsibility of all.
Do you know that so many women beat their husband, even physical beating? And they will beat the man out, they will be the one shouting.
As long as the youth are unemployed, they become a workshop for the devil.
We can do all our best by reviving our children to learn what is called culture.
For the national and FCT coordinators of the PCRC Women Committee and the FCT PCRC chairman, Otumba Bolaji Adigun, the sensitization is a wake-up call for the women not to relent in instilling the right values in children and what to impact the society positively. In a paper presentation by a management consultant, Ikalone Udo, the social media is playing a huge role in shaping the society, but negatively. She calls for the regulation of its usage by parents and caregivers.
The higher rate of suicide is because people cannot meet up with the pressures. And where do they get these pressures from? What they see, what they hear.
These women have also gathered that gender-based violence does not just end at homes alone, as social media-induced violence has led to so many avoidable deaths, as they are calling for strict monitoring of children, especially with the usage of the social media. Tessie Omeri, NTA News.
A 3-day capacity building workshop for driving school instructors has been declared open by the head of training, Federal Road Safety Commission headquarters, Shehu Alkali Zaki in Gwagwalada, Abuja. Deborah Gazazimaika, who was at the University of Abuja Mini Campus, Gwagwalada, venue of the event, now reports.
The yearly training, which is ongoing in 8 centers simultaneously, is to leverage on knowledge on how to improve driving schools industry in Nigeria, and FCT happened to be the host for North Central Zone, which is set to include Jos, Niger, Kogi and Nasarawa states. Stakeholders note that this kind of training is needed to be imparted on road users before obtaining driver's license to ply Nigerian roads.
As drivers, you need to be trained. Without being trained, definitely what you would expect on the road, you will not definitely see it. Because what is going to be happening on the road is crashes.
There is an existing standard that is internationally accepted of what you are supposed to do to qualify to obtain a driver's license. And it is only at the basis of the driving school system that this teaching can be done.
Participants commend the Federal Road Safety Corps for the initiative, which is capable of reducing road traffic crashes to the barest minimum.
We are here to acquire the skills on how to go back to our various schools, driving schools, to train our students to be better drivers of tomorrow on the road.
I want to thank the Federal Road Safety Corps for organizing such a program, which is very beneficial to us and also to the trainees, so that they can be effective driving.
FRSC says it is doing a lot technologically to eliminate quacks in the business of driving schools in Nigeria. Deborah Gazaj-Maika, NTA News.
Over the years, vehicle owners have protested what they see as the overzealousness of vehicle inspection officers in the discharge of their duties, which oftentimes lead to unpleasant situations, accidents, or even death. Hawagimba takes a look at the existence of the agency and controversies trailing the actions of the officers, particularly in the Federal Capital Territory, against the backdrop of its operations.
Major cities of the world often develop road traffic regulations in order to manage human and vehicular movements and usage of the roads. Traffic regulatory agencies varies from one city to another. In Nigeria, the name VIO has become synonymous with fear on the road for motorists owing to their mode of operations. Motorists across the country, especially in the FCT, have had to lament over one ugly encounter or another with the VIO.
The driver's license, start looking out for the healthiness of your car.
Allegations of intimidation, harassment and molestation of motorists. The head of DRTS FCT, Abdulatif Bello, has this view.
I would say that the DRTS is gradually transitioning from the old tradition of running after vehicles, forcing motorists to comply and all that.
NTA News crew findings shows that they operate using several strategies in the city center, sometimes around bends or junctions.
There are deficiencies in this respect, and we are doing that, we are reorganizing, and we are doing that.
The traffic regulators said law-abiding motoring public have nothing to worry. Hawagimba, NTA News.
In talking health, cleft lips and cleft palate are birth defects that occur when a baby's lips or mouth do not form properly during pregnancy. The National Hospital Abuja is helping to create awareness and offering free medical attention and free surgery to patients with the ailment. Aisha Bashir reports.
Babies here have various ranges of cleft palate, a condition which their mothers have to deal with. Some here have lips that are not properly formed. The roof of their mouth are unable to close. Medical experts here say sufferers develop such conditions from the womb, but the developmental problem can be corrected through surgery even at adult age. Here at the National Hospital, medical officers offer surgery and aftercare treatment for the patients free.
Cleft is a condition that can be seen in any family, either parents that are, you might not have known that you took drugs in early stage of your pregnancy, or sometimes it becomes hereditary.
The surgery is done here in Abuja with doctors and caregivers with available facilities and expertise to carry out the treatment. These are not the first cleft surgeries that are done here in the hospital.
For those that have cleft lip and palate, or just cleft palate alone without a defect on the lip, there are some other problems. The palate is that hard part of the roof of the mouth. If there is a cut and opening there, what can happen? They could have, when they eat, you can have the food spilling out and coming out from their nose.
In the care of these patients, we are the ones usually that will put these patients, to sleep, and for them to have a surgery.
Cleft palate can occur alone or as part of a genetic condition or syndrome. Victims often have difficulty in speaking, feeding, and sometimes it affects the ears. Aisha Bashir, NTA News.
The Gwagwalada Area Council Social Welfare Department in the FCT has taken into custody one Adobe Uche, a 5-year-old pupil of St. Michael's Cathedral School, Aba, Abia State. Wayne Dogo reports.
Little Adobe Uche was found loitering along the Ikwa Road in Zuba, Abuja, and was taken to the Zuba Divisional Police Headquarters by a Good Samaritan. She was then handed over to the Gwagwalada Area Council Social Welfare Department for safety with a view to locating her parents, said to be in Aba, Abia State. According to the girl, her mother left her somewhere in Aba to buy food for her and never returned. She could, however, not tell how she got to the FCT.
The Divisional Police Zuba brought a letter alongside the girl that they found her around Ibwa Road crying in Gwagwalada Area Council, 15th of September. She told us that her name is Blessing Adaobi Uche, that her father's name is John Uche, then her mother's name is Vera Uche, and that she attends St. Michael's Cathedral School in Aba. Nobody have come for her. That's why we decided to come to NTA to publicize it.
Adaobi gave her parents names as Mr. Uche John and Ngozi Vera John, respectively. Where are you from?
St. Michael's Cathedral School, Aba.
Aba. How did you get to Abuja?
For place.
Anyone with useful information about Adaobi's family should please contact the Education Department Gwagwalada Area Council on 08067 665056 or 08069185991. Wayne Dogo, NTA News.
Experience the wonder of the FIFA World Cup in Qatar with Coca-Cola. Buy any Coca-Cola product with a white cap. Check the code under the cap and dial *8014 *1 code hash to participate for free. Terms and conditions apply.
And now sports. Nigerian club sides get Libyan opponents in their CAF Confederation Cup playoffs. Details with Emanuela Ezembuko on Sports Brief.
Rivers United have been drawn against Al Nasr of Libya, while Plateau United will play Al Agda of the same country in the playoffs round of the Confederation Cup draws released by CAF this Tuesday. Rivers United will host their opponents on 2nd October at the Adokeye Amesiamaka Stadium, Port Harcourt, while Plateau United will entertain Al Agda at Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, on the same day. Both teams will travel to Libya for the second leg, slated for November 9. In volleyball, all necessary arrangements have been made for the second phase of the 2022 National Division 1 and 2 Volleyball League in Kaduna State from 19th to 30th October at the indoor and outdoor volleyball courts of Ahmadu Stadium. All teams are expected to arrive on the 19th October, while technical meeting holds on 20th and games serve off on 21st October. The men's first match of the day in Division 1 League will be between Caliphate Spikers of Sokoto and ABM of Katsina. With Sports Brief, Emanuela Ezembuko, NTA News.
Thanks for watching the English News Translation. Is next. Stay safe and be vigilant.
Izo kwa wei wonana iwo abeda pepepe ishanda jezuma woniye kwa goba ngai kuno baba mana jinya ngai chia jin nanu gwamnati atnete jinga azad nanu ayinye akuko shan awe shishi ayeda deno nsai no ayitintuko da Muhammadu Buhari be nyi wetu obwa no peje bedu awochi abanya no nkona dabada chowo ntukotu abyeji ntu mana jimbo nchete ngai chiai nkoni jin owo ba pakare nanu nwo gwamnati wela atnbo adni aza na gban akpeje a gwamnati atntin jin bayan nge she siyasa sa kola bayin oza wotofa owo tntun jimbo wa bisheba no asiyasa dayun ntugana zaho bebe nwonya dokui showa jin tuntun wu aye kwen kuzo nanu ayin pe hwewi shi asiyasa da ya kumbalaba ba sheba ba ga aza ayo kanya ba cheba jin ba yin antukotu nu obakinkibo ntna nkobele gbabie shi pejeda sepa azatnya Professor Mahmoud Yakubu wagage abo nu ba jin leyin weida wotawo agmadalo ko chiyeyun wen gage baza mbedai wachige ye ashin kuku yaknai kwayanu anyikpunu weye dade no nsai nwobe gin we ga aza ayokanya nye juwayi antukotu nu anyabo nu abejin apmanche tu nu azatin sa antna nkobeleyin ebi nu ye ajewoyi ebi yinkoza ayiwoge adaobi wuche wojin ebi bwabwainu nu ozamanai bobwawo nu zokoluko kwanya no zuba nanu kinzindaye nkwen a lowe nu abanu ajan shi akuyi nu gwagolada we dogo waganga ebiye we wonu na ye lo ogun atun we gange wa binu abanu nu abia kin we chige wo nalo nu ayepe zanba na iba Michael Kadrak ayepe zanba nlo na abain owo ya mawo nu ayiwoge Ngozi Vera John onwo dadai nu ayiwo Wuche John waganga owo ya nbe ya wojin mbwaho nu aba nge we wasi nyaji gawo owo ya intesha Jezebon wo inta pele sho be jin nwu wa be akinzindan antiche nu sakun zaho pebe helo ntukotunu ebiebe nwen abami ayi onwe nkwen to lo ogunnyime moto lo shitnai chetnaba shitnai chetnai shitnu ko shi non chetnai hen ba mi haje to lo bunyi mo to lo shitnai che chwagmen awo che nyimo shitun che chwagmen shi chwagmen chegmen shokoi uba kun ya nu yegma
Jama'a masu kallo da sauraron mu assalamu alaikum, ga labaran yau a takaice mai karanta dan uwanku Yusuf Yakubu. An bayyana kowace gwamnati ta gari wacce za ta kawo ayyukan alkhairi ga ƙasa a matsayin gwamnati da ta rike gaskiya da amanar ƙasa. Hakan ya biyo bayan sanya hannu da shugaba Muhammadu Buhari a dokar ƙara bunƙasa ayyukan gwamnati da tsare-tsaren ci gaban ƙasa na gwamnatin tarayya. Wakilin fadar shugaban kasa Adamu Sambo ya rawaito mana cewa an bayyana haka ne a bikin kammala taron duba ayyukan ministocin gwamnatin shugaba Muhammadu Buhari na 3, inda shugaba Muhammadu Buhari ya gargaɗi ministocinsa, sakatarorin dindindin da shugabannin ma'aikatun gwamnati cewa su guji barin ayyukan gwamnati da ke gabansu zuwa harkokin zaɓe, inda ya ce za su sa ido su binciki komai. Bayan kaddamar da yakin neman zaɓe na 'yan takarar shugabancin siyasa a jam'iyyun ƙasar nan a zaben baɗi 2023 kwanaki kaɗan da suka wuce, shugaban hukumar zaɓe ta ƙasa Farfesa Mahmud Yakubu ya bayyana rashin gamsuwarsa akan yadda jam'iyyu suka fara lamarin. Shugaban ya bayyana haka ne a lokacin ba da horon na'urorin da za a tura mazaɓu a yi amfani da su a lokacin zaben baɗi 2023 idan Allah ya kai mu. Sashen da ke kula da harkokin jama'a na ƙaramar hukumar Gwagwalda da ke nan birnin tarayya Abuja ya karbi wata yarinya 'yar shekara 5 mai suna Adobe Uche, ɗalibar makarantar Michael Cathedral da ke garin Abana, jihar Abia. Wakilin Waine Dogo ya shaida mana cewa Adobe an tsince ta ne akan titin Akwa da ke garin Kubo tana Garamba, inda aka kai ta ofishin 'yan sanda na nan Zuba, su kuma suka kai ta Gwagwalda domin a yi cigiyar iyayenta su zo su karɓe ta. A cewar yarinyar, mahaifiyarta ta barta a wani waje ne a Aba domin ta saya mata abinci, amma bata dawo ba, kwatsam sai ta samu kanta a nan birnin Abuja. Amma a ƙarshe Adobe ta faɗi sunan iyayenta, sannan za a iya lalumar su akan lambobin da kuke kallo yanzu haka. Ƙarshen labaran namu ne kenan, sai kuma gobe idan Allah ya kai mu.
Igbo ndị ọma orokwala ọzọ n'oge akụkọ ụwa, ọ bụ Chisom so n'inwe oke afọ ji nke abalị a iji nweta ezi ngụkọ, tinyere ime ihe n'ụzọ kwụ ọtọ n'inweta ezi ọchịchị na ịrụ ọrụ ndị doro anya nye ụmụ ala anyị bụ Naịjirịa. Onye isi ala anyị Muhammadu Buhari abanyela aka site n'ike iwu nyere ya iji nweta agamnihu n'ebe ọchịchị nakwa ịrụ ọrụ onye isi ala nyere ha na ngwụsị nke agba nke 3 n'ileba anya n'ọrụ ndị ọchịchị na-elekọta ọrụ dị iche iche n'ala anyị. Onye isi ala dụrụ ha ọdụ ka ha gbara ịhapụ ọrụ enyere ha dịka oge ntuliaka nke afọ 2023 na-abịa, ebe o nyere onye odeakwụkwọ ala anyị iwu ịga n'ihu n'ihiwe otu nleba anya n'ọrụ nke ndị ọchịchị ya dị iche iche n'ala anyị. Ịchụ nta ndị ga-abịanye aka n'otu ndọrọndọrọ ọchịchị dị iche iche ya malite n'ihe dịka ụbọchị ole na ole ka ọ dị ugbu a ntuliaka nke afọ 2023. Onye isi oche ụlọ ọrụ ntuliaka ukwu ala anyị Ọkammụta Mahmud Yakubu emego obi ụtọ n'ụzọ otu ndọrọndọrọ ọchịchị ndị a dị iche iche si amalite ya. Onye isi oche a kwupụtara nke a n'oge ọzụzụ ndị ọrụ ga-eji igwe ọgbara ọhụrụ arụ ọrụ n'oge ntuliaka, ebe ọ kọwara na nke a pụrụ ime ka a na-enwe ịdọla aka elekere azụ na nhazi emere maka ntuliaka nke afọ 2023. Otu nwata nwaanyị aha ya bụ Adaobi Uche bụ onye dị afọ 6 nọ na ngalaba ụlọ ọrụ ọha na-elekọta mmadụ nke ọchịme obodo Gwagwalada bụ onye na-eje ụlọ akwụkwọ nke St. Michael's Cathedral School Aba dị na steeti Abia wee dogo onye ọrụ anyị batara anyị akụkọ na nwata nwaanyị a ka otu ezi nwa afọ kpọtara ka ọ na-akpagharị n'okporo ụzọ ịkwa n'obodo Zuba ma kpoje ya n'ụlọ ọrụ ndị uwe ojii. O nyere aha nne na nna ya dịka Ngozi Vera John na nna ya Uche John, ebe ọ kọwara na nne ya kpọsara ya otu ebe na Aba ma ọ lọghachitaghị ma ụzọ o si rute Abuja ka ọ na-akọwaghị. Onye maara nne na nna nwaada biko kpọtụrụ ngalaba agụmakwụkwọ nke ọchịme obodo Gwagwalada nke obodo a bụ FCT ma ọ bụ akara ekwentị ndị na-ahụ n'ihu gị. Ọ bụ otu a ka anyị si apịachi ya na nke abalị a. Anyị bụ ọnụchi ndewo.
Ròyìn iléeṣẹ́ amóhùnmáwòrán ìkànnì karùn-ún ti ìlú Àbújá ló ń dé sí etí ìgbọ̀nyín látẹnu Bọ́lájí Mátì. Ààrẹ Muhammadu Buhari ti ṣe àgbékalẹ̀ àwọn ọ̀nà tí yóò mú kí ètò ìṣèjọba gún régé. Ètò náà dáwọ́lé bí àgbéga yóò ṣe wà fún àmójútó àkójọpọ̀ àti ìmúṣẹ àwọn ohun tó ṣe pàtàkì tó jẹ́ ti ìjọba àpapọ̀. Alákòójọpọ̀ ìròyìn Adamu Sambo ròyìn wípé èyí wáyé níbi àṣekágbá ìjókòó ètò àgbéyẹ̀wò. Ààrẹ kìlọ̀ fún àwọn aṣíwájú wípé kí wọ́n má fi iṣẹ́ sílẹ̀ gbé ọ̀rọ̀ òṣèlú wọ̀. Ó mẹ́nuba àwọn ìgbésẹ̀ tí yóò mú àǹfààní wá bí wọ́n ti ń gbé ìjọba fún ìjọba mìíràn. Alága àjọ ìgbìmọ̀ ètò ìdìbò lórílẹ̀‐èdè ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Mahmood Yakubu sọ wípé ọ̀nà tí àwọn ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú ṣe ń ṣiṣọ́ lójú ètò ìpolongo fún ìbò tó ń bọ̀ lọ́nà kò tẹ́ òun lọ́rùn, pàápàá àwọn rògbòdìyàn tó máa ń wáyé lákòókò náà. Ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Yakubu gbé ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kalẹ̀ níbi ètò ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ lórí àwọn ọ̀nà tuntun tí wọn yóò gbé kalẹ̀ fún ètò ọ̀hún. Ó rọ àwọn olùdìbò àti àwọn alátìlẹyìn wọn wípé kí wọ́n ṣe ohun gbogbo lọ́nà tó yẹ àti wípé ìjókòó yóò wà láti fikùnlukùn kí ohun gbogbo lè rọrùn. Ẹ̀ka ètò afẹ́ ní ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ Gwagwalada ní ọmọ ọdún 5 kan lọ́dọ̀. Ọmọ ọ̀hún Adáòbí Uche, akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ilé ẹ̀kọ́ St. Michael Cathedral ní Aba ní ìpínlẹ̀ Abia. Alákòójọpọ̀ ìròyìn Windogo ròyìn wípé aláàánú kan lórí ọmọ náà tó ń rìn rẹ́gbẹ̀rẹ́gbẹ́, ó sì mú lọ sí àgọ́ ọlọ́pàá. Láì jáfara wọ́n fi lé ẹ̀ka náà lọ́wọ́. Ọmọ náà sọ nínú ọ̀rọ̀ wípé ìyá òun lọ ra oúnjẹ fún òun ní Aba ṣùgbọ́n òun kò mọ bí òun ṣe gúnlẹ̀ sí ìlú Abuja. Ó dárúkọ àwọn òbí rẹ̀, ọ̀gbẹ́ni Uche John àti ìyáàfin Ngozi Vera John. Wọ́n rọ ẹnikẹ́ni tó bá ní ìhùn tó ṣe pàtàkì láti jẹ́ kí ọmọ òun rí àwọn òbí rẹ̀ kí ó má ṣe jáfara kó pe àwọn àmì ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ tó ń bẹ ní ojú ẹ̀rọ. Tó a ò rí jù báyìí lónìí títí òye ọ̀la ní àṣẹ Tèdùmàrè. Ojúmọ́ ire ni yóò mọ́ wa.